Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Power Rankings. I'm your commissioner, Nick. It is week 5 already. We had a great week this past week. Let's keep it up. Good luck to everybody. Let's get it.
Number 12. Whoop! Bad luck, Jerry. In the battle that reeked of mediocrity, Jerry lost a barn burner to his arch rival Dan. Jerry got no help from his stars as Lost Tim Eckler got injured and Jimmy Grandpa took an afternoon nap. Jerry finds himself back in the basement after his third straight loss. He's also the only team that has not averaged 100 points per game. That is just terrible. Number 11. King of the Hill V2. Luke's team lost again this week and is now the only team who has yet to win a game. Josh Stalin continued his MVP run, and Latavius scurried into the end zone twice, but it wasn't enough. Luke started an inactive Jared Cook at tight end, which could have been the difference as he only lost by 6 points. Luke, what are we doing? Number 10. Snell, yeah. Whoop! Brad's team finally picked up their first win of the season thanks to Melvin Gordon and George Kittle's huge performances. The two of them combined for over 65 points, which is a recipe for success every week. I may be getting ahead of myself, but hopefully for Brad, a Kittle goes a long way into the playoffs. Number 9. Maybe next year. Lance's team took a big hit this week as he lost to Beans and lost his star running back in the process. Nick Flub will be out at least the next 3 weeks, and things are starting to take a familiar turn for maybe next year. Lance's team was 2-1 last year before going on a 9-game losing streak to kill the season. The rest of the team is going to need to get gritty in order to recover. Number 8. The process. Ryan's team pulled off the slim win against Luke this week thanks to Devontae Parker's big game. Ryan still lacks any production from the running back position as he had to start the backup, Jeff Wilson Jr., but he couldn't even outscore Joshua Smelly, who continued to stink on the bench. Team needs some legit RB help before this team can be considered a real threat. Look at that, 11th in points per game. Whoop! Number 7. Team Never Lucky. The reigning, defending, undisputed champion of our league somehow pulled off another win in a snooze fest against Jerry. Allen robs a win, scored a bunch of garbage time points to lead the way, and the defending champs are tied for first without all-star receiver Michael Thomas. This team is not that good, so when will the luck run out? Number 6. R.I.P. Harambe. Oliver's team was blown out this week by Borat. Miles Blanders hasn't lived up to the hype, and injuries continue to linger for these guys. This is now the 3rd straight year Harambe has started 1-3. Despite all these slow starts, Oliver has always made the playoffs, but can he turn this ship around one more time? Number 5. Whoop! The implication. I know I'm going to get some gripe for this, but the implication moves up 1 spot this week despite losing. Mike Davis has excelled, and I finally got some production from the wide receiver position as DJ Chark returned from injury. Too bad T.Y. Hilton continues to play like T.Y. Motel 6. Let's see what's in store this week. Number 4. When Legends Rise. Frank's team came up short against his son in an embarrassing loss to the winless team. Kenyon Drake, draft mistake, disappointed yet again, and Tyler couldn't unlock it against the lowly Dolphins. This is a concerning loss because Frank was 2-1 last year as well, but finished 3-7 the rest of the way. Now that the bye weeks are here, the lack of depth is going to be a major problem. Is history repeating itself? Number 3. Poppy's prized possession. You know Dasher and Dancer, Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid, Donner and Joe Mixon. Poppy bounced back to win his 3rd game of the season in a rout over the commissioner in the game of the week. Kareem Hunt and Mark Andrews had 2 touchdowns apiece, while Joe Mixon had 3. Literally everybody went off this week. Hopefully they save some points for next week. Number 2. Beans eating beans. Beans is cooking right now. 1 again this week, making it 3 in a row. Dak and Prescott has had to light it up because of the Cowboys' terrible defense, and Terry McSaurin cruised to 21 points on the box score. Unfortunately, Beans remains stuck in the 2 spot for another week because of number 1. Borat, very nice. Wow. Hunter's team won yet again and remains undefeated. Odell Beckham Jr. went off for 2 touchdowns to lead the way. Hunter impressively averages over 150 points per game to lead the senior circuit and remain king of the castle. Now let's take a look at our playoff picture following week 4. Borat Very Nice owns the 1 seed. He'd take on the Process. Then we'd have Team Never Lucky hosting When Legends Rise. The Implication would go over on Warren Drive to face Beans Eating Beans. And then maybe next year would face Poppy's Prized Possession. Oliver would not make it if the season ended today. Now let's get to our commissioner predictions. In our first matchup, we've got When Legends Rise, who's favored over Bad Luck Jerry. I'm going to take When Legends Rise because you can never take Bad Luck Jerry. In our next matchup, we've got Team Never Lucky versus The Implication. Right now, Team Never Lucky is favored, but I'm going to go with my very own The Implication in this one. In our next matchup, we've got King of the Hill V2, who is winless on the year, taking on Beans Eating Beans, who's won 3 straight. Big spread here, 32 points, but guess what? I'm going to take King of the Hill to get his first win. In our next matchup, we got Poppy's Prized Possession taking on Snell, who's a surprising 1-point favorite right now. I'm going to take Snell, look at that, I like it. Next pick, we got Maybe Next Year versus Borat Very Nice. 33-point favorites. You can't go against Borat right now. He's undefeated, and that's what I'm going to go with. And last but not least, we've got our game of the week. And this is a historic matchup. It is the 15th matchup between these historic franchises. It's RIP Harambe taking on Ryan's The Process. We've got bye weeks this week. Devontae Adams is on the bye for Oliver. Ryan has nobody on the bye, so advantage Ryan there. But I like Oliver's team this week. I think he's got to start to get the train moving in the right direction, so I'm going to take RIP Harambe in the primetime game of the week. And that's all I've got for you. I'm going to go get a glass of water. Have a great week, everybody. Enjoy.